Welcome back to JRNY TV, where we break down the crypto chaos into something that you can actually understand, no matter how deep you are in the trenches. Today's topic, NFTs. Are they dead? Are they undead? Or are they just getting warmed up for round two? Before we dig into things and where they are now, we've got to rewind to when NFTs were the loudest, the craziest, and most unpredictable corner of the crypto world. Yeah, it was wild. Back in 2021 and early 2022, NFTs weren't just digital art. They were status symbols, flex pieces, golden tickets, and moonshot investments all rolled into one. You had Bored Apes minting for $150 and flying to $400,000 plus. CryptoPunks were selling for millions. Even Pudgy Penguins became legit six-figure assets for early holders. And if you were early or lucky or just willing to YOLO into a mint with zero roadmap and a dream, you could have made life-changing money. We're talking 100x, 1000x, or even 10,000x gains. Get it yet? It wasn't just retail apes either. Celebrities, athletes, mega corporations, everyone wanted in. Adidas dropped NFTs. Visa bought a punk. Jimmy Fallon and Paris Hilton, they were talking about apes on late night TV. For a minute, NFTs were the internet. But as anything that hot, that fast, things eventually snapped. Crash heard around the metaverse. Why NFTs fell apart. So what happened? How did we go from $1 million JPEGs and Twitter or X flex wars to floor prices barely above gas fees? The NFT market, it didn't just cool down. It face planted, and it wasn't one single thing. It was a perfect storm of broken models, bear market pressure, and plain old human greed. First, the death of royalties. Marketplaces like OpenSea started slashing creator royalties, gutting the main income stream for artists and projects. That really hurt. Once that happened, the value prop shifted. Suddenly, holding an NFT wasn't supporting an ecosystem. It was just a JPEG with vibes. Combine that with Ethereum fees during peak mania, and the math stopped making sense for average users. Then came the broader crypto collapse. And as Bitcoin and Ethereum tanked, so did liquidity. People needed stable assets, not pixel penguins. Throw in an avalanche of scams, rug pulls, fake influencers, and projects that raised millions of dollars only to disappear or pivot, and it's no wonder the whole space caught a bad rep. But maybe the hardest truth, building a new industry is hard. Even well-funded teams with big name backers, they struggled to deliver. A hype cycle, it moved faster than devs could push the updates. And when the noise faded, only the projects with real convictions, the ones still shipping in silence, those are the ones that managed to survive. The 95% plus drop across most NFTs, it wasn't a fluke. It was a market correction and a trust correction. And honestly, it had to happen because now the ones that are left standing might just be the ones that actually matter. From rocket ships to ghost towns. 5 NFT projects then versus now. All right, let's talk about the biggest names in NFTs and the ones that were printing millionaires overnight. At their peak, these collections weren't just popular, they were culture. But now, some are still standing. Others, not so much. Let's talk about the Bored Ape Yacht Club, known as BAYC, the gold standard of NFT hype. Minted at 0.08 ETH in 2021, which was like $150. And then it ran all the way to over 100 ETH at its peak. That's a heck of a jump. Celebs bought in, parties happened, brands were made, but fast forward to today and the floors dropped significantly. Still valuable? Yeah. Still iconic? Sure. But the hype machine has definitely slowed down. CryptoPunks, the OGs. No roadmap, no Discord grinding, just pure digital art history. Some sold for over $10 million during the bull market. While the floor collapsed like the rest of the market, punks, well, they're actually showing signs of life again, and their sense of a prestige that never really fully left. And now that the dust is finally settling, they're quietly climbing right back up. Pudgy Penguins, from drama to dominance. Pudgies launched in 2021, got caught in some leadership controversy, then they made one of the greatest comebacks in NFT history. Under new management, they actually turned things around hard. Licensing, toys in Walmart and Target, massive brand expansion. And this is one of the very few projects that actually is building outside of crypto. And make no mistake about it, it's paying off. RTFKT, Nike's digital wearables brand. Everyone thought digital fashion was gonna be it. Nike bought them. Big collabs, insane drops. But by early 2025, they announced that they were shutting down operations. The hype was real, but the long-term product market, it just wasn't there. Digital drip alone, it couldn't carry the brand. So, bottom line, NFTs, they went from a wild gold rush to a brutal survival game. The ones that had adapted, Pudgies and punks, they're starting to write a brand new story. The comeback. Signs that the NFT market is waking up again. So, NFTs are dead? Not quite. While a ton of projects flatlined or faded into obscurity, there has been a quiet comeback brewing. And you can feel it if you're paying attention. November 2024, we saw a very noticeable spike in volume with over $560 million in NFT sales. That's right, up nearly 60% from the month before. And that kind of jump doesn't just happen for no reason. It is a signal. You've got legacy projects like CryptoPunks showing signs of life again. Prices aren't anywhere near all-time highs, but make no mistake, floors, they're firming up. And collectors, they have been circling back. People are slowly realizing that projects with history, provenance, and community, they tend to stick around while the noise, it fades out. But it's not just nostalgia driving the numbers. Utility? Thank goodness, it's finally entering the chat. NFTs are evolving from just profile pics to something that actually does stuff. Whether it's unlocking experiences, integrating with games, or offering in real life rewards, utility NFTs are starting to lead the charge. Take a look at Pudgy Penguins, for example. Pudgy Penguins has managed to turn their IP into physical toys at Target and Walmart, two really small businesses that are floating around America and a few other countries. That's not Web3 hype. That's Web2 execution meeting NFT culture, and it is working. Then there is Futureverse scooping up Candy Digital, a brand backed by Gary Vee and Michael Rubin with ties to Major League Baseball and Netflix. They're planning to merge digital content with blockchain infrastructure, which could totally reshape how we interact with collectibles. Big vision, real backing. And the projects? Analysts expect NFT volume to climb back to 15 billion by 2025, with functional, gaming, and crossover NFTs all leading the way. So yeah, while the JPEG casino may be over for a moment, next era of NFTs might actually be useful, and that could be a much stronger foundation to build on. What's next for NFTs? Utility, reinvention, and the long game. All right, let's get real for a sec. 2025 didn't start great for NFTs. Trading volume fell off the cliff in Q1, down over 60% year over year. Headlines were grim, projects shut down, floors nuked. The hype cycle pretty much dead, but here's the thing underneath that chaos. Something healthier is starting to form. The flash in the pan phase is fading, and the stuff with actual value is starting to shine. Projects like Pudgy Penguins didn't just survive, they evolved. From in real life toys and licensing deals to community-driven branding efforts, they are in fact proving that NFTs, they can work outside of just crypto Twitter or X. It's not just about digital flexing anymore. It's about access, rewards, and belonging. And this shift towards utility, it's not a trend, it's a pivot. Gaming projects are doubling down. Fashion and music brands are experimenting with digital ownership. Even governments, they're exploring NFTs for documentation and ID. Newsflash, when something starts bleeding into every single sector like that, you know it's not going away. It's just changing form. So the question again, are NFTs dead? Nah, they're just shedding their skin. The next chapter won't be about wild speculation or cartoon animals mooning overnight. It'll be about who's actually building something people want to use, collect, or be part of. Those that keep adapting and delivering real value, make no mistake, they're gonna lead the next wave. And if you're still here watching, learning, staying engaged, you are already ahead of the curve. Drop a comment below and please let us know what NFT project you still believe in, or which one you think is ready to rise from the ashes. Smash that like button if you got value from anything in today, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And remember, this space is not just for flipping JPEGs, it's for building the future. And the future always favors the ones who stick around. Thanks for tuning in to JRNY TV. As always, we will see you in the next one.